Hey everyone! So today I'm going to be filming a tutorial slash first impressions with the Nikkietutorials and BeautyBay collab palette. I'm so excited to be trying this. I think Nikkie seems really nice and obviously is so talented. So if you're interested in checking out the colors and seeing how they perform on the eyes, keep watching. So here's the palette in all of its glory. You can see it's two-sided and it's gorgeous. I'm so excited. I love just the range. I love that we got, sparkle. Oh, I'm so excited. So I'm going to look at these colors and kind of, think about it and let's just get into it. First of all, I guess I should talk about the packaging, right? Okay. So Nikkie, in her video explaining the palette, was talking about how, essentially these, or the packaging, these sides reflect the sides of her. So, on the outside she's very bright and colorful and cheery, but she has this dark side. She loves horror movies and stuff. I love this little gravestone that says makeup shamers because honestly, makeup is supposed to be fun. There's a science, of course, to it. There are reasons why certain things look good, but at the end of the day, if you're happy with how you look, that's what's important, and I'm super into that message. And there's just like a sweet little message from Nikkie on the back, so I love that. And I think it's really interesting, of course, the two mirrors, because some people are really into mirrors on palettes. I used to not care, but since I've moved into my current place, the window is like behind me when I do my makeup, like where my stand is set up. So when I'm doing my makeup, I will say I have started to appreciate a palette with a mirror because then I can turn and face the window and look into my mirror. So super cute packaging. It's super fun. I think it makes sense for her. So let's get into the good part now. All right, it is time to get into the look. I'm going to start with my Urban Decay Primer Potion in Eden. To me, this is obviously an essential if you want your eyeshadow to look good. I just, I don't know. To me, it's a non-negotiable. So I like Eden because it's mattifying. And then my contour and my eyebrows are on. So I'm going to go in with like blush and highlight and lipstick after, we've done our look because that just makes more sense. I need a little bit more on this eye. The eyes are primed. Alright, so I have to start obviously with a transition color. So I think I'm going to go in with Basic Truth. It's just like a nice kind of beige. And I'm going to go in with, what is this brush? It's some kind of Morphe brush. So for my skin tone, this is a great transition shade. Oh, something is happening on my nose. So I'm going to just go in with that and buff it into the crease and upwards. It's a little bit fair, so I might go in with a slightly darker shade. The mirror is nice. It's like a nice zoomed in look. And what I like is like if you hold it in front of your face, it's just like the perfect, like you just get like your eyes. So I'm going in with this color. It's a little bit light for my transition. I think I'm going to just deepen it a little bit with Mila, which is like a warm toned brown. Basic Truth was nice. Very smooth, not powdery, but it's pretty close to my skin tone. So I want to, work with some deeper shades to see how they perform, because something's going to look good when it kind of just melts into your skin. So I'm going to deepen it with Mila, like I said. My inclination is always towards warm tones. Lately, I used to be such a cool tone girl in high school, and then I think it was Anastasia's Modern Renaissance came out, and that kind of changed the game for me. So this is another one that's blending really nicely, but I'm also not using a ton of this So we'll see how other colors perform when we start to get a little more colorful and crazy. Because we will be doing that a little bit at least. Alright, that's better. That has a little more depth, but I do like that basic color because it's also a really nice way to soften the edge of your shadow. If you've never done that before, it's just a great way. If you maybe went a little too high, you can take like a small fluffy brush with like a kind of a shade that's just a pinch lighter than your skin tone, and you can kind of use it to blend that edge a little more. Alright, I think we're really nice and blended and soft. Oh, this is hard. Should we go like super colorful? Alright, I'm envisioning something. So next I'm going to be going in with this bright orange matte Redemption right here. And I'm going to be going in with a smaller brush. So this is the Sigma E25 blending brush. It's a great brush. And what's awesome with the mirrors being on both sides is like you can flip the palette over depending on, you know, which side you're kind of going in with. And you have the mirror no matter where you are. So I'm going to really load that up with Redemption. Tap off the excess. They're definitely like powdery when you tap off the excess, but they don't so far seem to have a ton of fallout, which is nice. So I'm going to start working that in. Oh, this is pretty. Oh, I like this color. Oh, it looks even brighter on my skin than in the pan, which like I'm not mad at because I'm not wearing like a bright orange matte shadow to be subtle. So I'm going to be working that into the crease and then taking that in kind of a V shape in that outer corner. This reminds me of like, okay, this is going to sound ridiculous, Cheeto dust, but in a good way. Oh, yeah, I'm really liking it so far. So I'm going to just start working it into my crease in that outer corner, like I said. But I want to see how well it builds and layers. So we're going to go in with the second layer. I don't like to go like load up my brush and like really pack it on. That's just not like my taste personally, but everyone's different. So, you know, I like to build it up a little bit more just because I'm so fair. I don't want something that's going to end up looking so dark and then I'm kind of past the point of no return. So I want to kind of just bring that up and elongate. I think that's building nice so far. And I don't have any fallout on my cheeks, which is nice. So I'm going to just now go directly into my crease and deepen it from there. Pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Bum, ba-dum, bum. So I think that this built up nicely. It doesn't look patchy. No, definitely not. It looks very smooth on my lid, which I'm very happy with. So I'm just making sure I've worked that all the way into the inner corner like this, so you're getting that little side area. Alright, so we have like a fun bright orange crease. So next I'm going to be going in with Zomer, which is like this really pretty kind of matte coral, just to like deepen. And the brush I'm going to be using for that is going to be my E27 from Sigma, which is a detailed blending brush. So it's just like a smaller version of the E25. And I'm also, I think, going to end up taking this color kind of on the outer part of my lash line. So I'm going to work that in there. Oh, that's really pretty and bright. What I'm loving is how nice and bright these look on the eye. Definitely points for that. Oh, yay. I'm glad I'm liking this so far. I feel like with these kinds of things, you can't win. Because if you like it, people will accuse you of being like, you know, I don't know, trying to get on their good side. But if you don't like it, people like say, I don't know, you want internet clout. This is probably not as dark as I wanted though, so I'm going to end up going in with a different color to deepen the outer corner a little more. And then I'm going to take on that same brush and work it right along that outer part of the lash line and then connecting it upwards to meet where I applied it on the top lid. Super important to tap off the excess though, because these do have a little bit of kickback. That could be why I'm not getting fallout as well, actually. Is because I'm being good about tapping my brush. So something about how my eye crease is here, I always end up getting shadow kind of out over here though, no matter what palette I use, what brush I use, except for maybe like a really tiny one. So I will probably end up, actually I'll just do it right now. I'm going to just take it on that same brush, the basic Truth color, and like doing what I said you could do earlier with it, which is to like kind of soften and blend colors that went out a little too far. Just because I don't want that color to come out so far, but that's just what happens on my eyes. Alright, so we have that really pretty coral color. I'm going to go in, what do I, ooh, okay, no, okay, I'm going to go in with Mila again, the color I used to deepen the transition shade, but I'm actually going to like load the brush up a little bit more now to get a little more depth and darkness. But I don't want it to be super dark because I want this color look to be colorful. So I'm just going to go on with the same brush again, just because it's for the same purpose. And just deepen it a little more. Okay. Is Mila one of Nikkie's pets? In her video, which I will link below in the description box, she explains why she picked the names for all the shades. Okay, now because we've gone in and applied a few colors, I'm just going to go back in with the brush that I used for my transition shade and just kind of blend everything a little bit. But just a little, because you don't want to over blend, because then that's how your colors start to look muddy. So, loving that. So pretty. Alright, next we're going to go in with our lid color. So I think I'm going to go in with Aura, which is really sparkly. So because I'm going to be using a glitter shade, I want to really make sure my lid is ready for that glitter. So I'm going to go in with my NYX glitter primer, Essential, and just apply that right in the center, because you don't want to get it everywhere else, because if you try to like blend like a matte over it, it's not going to blend well because it's like sticky now, like, you know, because it has to be really sticky for the glitter. Okay, just like to that center and then kind of going inwards. So I'm going to want a nice like flat brush for that. So I'm going to be going in, sorry it's dirty, I used it yesterday. Here we go into Aura, loading up the brush, tap off. Not a ton should come off because it's like a glitter. So hopefully it's just kind of sticking. Oh my god, that's so pretty. Wow, that's really, really beautiful. It looks even prettier on the eye than in the palette. I'm really, really pleased with this so far. Loving, loving. So I don't want to put this all the way to the outer part of the lid, because then it'll just cover up that outer corner that we worked on. So just repeating the same on my right eye. This looks so good. I'm like, wow, I'm loving how sparkly this is. With the glitter, I like to kind of work in pieces, just so I can really build up the glitter and get that, you know, maximum sparkle and impact. It's a tiny bit more time consuming than like just trying to drag it across the lid, but that's how you're going to get the awesome color payoff. That looks gorgeous. So now, just to make sure we haven't lost too much of our crease color, I'm going to go back in with the E27 and with Redemption, that matte orange, and just blend a little right above it. And then also that will help them just, you know, melt together a little bit more. I really like it so far. What are we thinking? Alright, so next I'm going to do my inner corner color. I think I'm going to end up layering 2 colors for this. I'm going to start with Roxy Catan, and then I'm going to top it with Ivy, which is like the shimmering white. So to do that, I'm going to go in with my, once again, this is dirty, classy, I know, I'm sorry, but I did my makeup yesterday because I was supposed to film, and then the day got away from me, so, you know. So anyway, this is the Sigma E30 pencil brush. This is like a very similar to the MAC, what was it, the 219, is there a pencil brush? Okay, anyway, Roxy Catan to start. Oh, really pretty. This is like a gorgeous, like rose gold-ish kind of shade. This kicks up a lot, but in a chunkier way, if that makes sense. Like, it's not powder. It's not like a fine powder that's coming up. It's a little chunkier, and I think it's just because it has like that sparkle in it. So this is really pretty, but to me, this is not light enough for an inner corner color on its own on my skin tone. So that's why I'm going to be topping it with Ivy to kind of lighten it a little bit. Oh, perfect. That's like exactly what I wanted it to do. Just like make it a little more frosty. And I like to just work that inner corner color up just a little, just so it's blended. I don't like the super, super intense inner corner highlight that's like just so concentrated. I like to soften it a little, but I do think that it should be brightest in that little central point. But then I think you should soften it and blend it out a little bit. I think that's really pretty. How are we feeling about it? I like it. I'm really, yeah, I like it. The last color I want to use is actually BeautyTutorials, which yesterday I was on Instagram Live. I'm like, that's the one color I'll probably never use, and now I'm using it. But I think it'll contrast nicely with the orangey tones we used earlier. That's really pretty. It's a pinch darker than what I wanted. It's also hard because I'm losing the sunlight, so these colors are looking not 100% accurate in here. But it's really beautiful, and I want to keep that general concept. So I'm just going to go in with a tiny bit of Plot Twist, which is like a matte sky blue, and just lighten that a little bit. Oh, pretty. And then I'll just kind of like blend it into that inner corner shade. Really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with my brush that had the Zomer, the coral color on it, and just blend that just a pinch again. I personally like to kind of blend after every few steps, just so that you're blended. But this is the eyeshadow. Let's go ahead and add some mascara. Today I'm using CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume, one of my favorites. Oldie but a goodie. So here we go, curling. This is like an old curler from Sephora. I need to get a curler from like a cruelty-free brand, I think. And also it's just old, so. Alright. Perfect. So now mascara on top and bottom. Oh, I had a little fallout. I didn't even notice that. Like, it really just comes together once you have a little lash on, you know? At least that's how I see it. here's the completed eye look. I'm happy with it. I like it a lot. I think it's so colorful and fun. So let's finish up the rest of the face, shall we? For blush, I'm going to be going in with the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo in Soft Peach. And I'm only going to be using the matte side today. I'm applying it with the Luxie Tapered Highlighter, but I love this for blush. I like this shape for blush. So I feel like if you want like precision, you use the pointy part, you know, and then you can blend with like the flat side. So that's all done. For highlighter, I'm going to be going in with another Nikkie collab from way back with Ofra. This is her Glazed Donut Highlighter. I believe this is still available if you like it. I lost my highlighter brush. Where is she? Okay, we got her. So this is the Spectrum B05. So we're going to just work that around in like a nice little C shape. And then the nose. Cute, pretty, Cupid's bow. Then just like the excess on the chin. I don't want my chin to be like super highlighted, but I feel like the face looks balanced if you have just a little bit on there. I love highlighter though, like that's something that I don't really hold back on when I'm applying my makeup, so. Perfect. Alright, last is lip color. For my lip color today, I'm going to be using Illusion by Black Moon Cosmetics. I love their liquid lips because they're, you know, a matte as in not shiny finish, but they're not matte as in like crusty and dry. So this is just a really nice pale nude to really let the colors on the face stand out. Oh, that's really beautiful. I like it. It's a little bit peachy, but not too peachy, because I am not a fan of really peachy nudes on my skin. Ah, there's the completed look. I love it. I think it looks great. I feel like I'm like tooting my own horn, like toot. But yeah, it looks really nice. I really like this lip color a lot. So let's get back to talking about the palette because that's why we're here. So overall, I really liked this palette. The glitters have a bit of like chunkiness, but I don't think in a bad way. I think it just means that they're really sparkly, glittery. And I found that when I tapped my brush, I didn't experience fallout. The little bit of fallout I had was because of a little bit of the pigment can get in your lashes. So sometimes when I curl my lashes, I'll get a little bit of fallout, brushed away easily. I felt like the mattes built up really nicely and weren't chalky or patchy, which is important. A little powder kick up there again, but nothing extreme, and that's not something that personally bothers me. And honestly, even if I had fallout, that's not really a deal breaker for me, honestly. I feel like, yeah, it blended really nicely together. I'm really, really happy. I like that there's a balance of like warms and cools. Like, you know, you get a good range. There's colors and neutrals, so I feel like it appeals to like a broad audience. I feel like, I don't know, she seems like someone who cares about what her followers think, and I think that that's reflected in the color choice. There really is something for everyone. And the price point I thought was pretty reasonable as well. I want to say this was $30. So for me, like large pans and what, 20 shades? Yeah, I think that that's super reasonable. Obviously, it's not in everyone's budget. I'm not going to deny that at all. I'm super lucky to have this, but it's not exorbitantly priced either. So I think that that's, you know, a great way to go. I feel like she tried to, I get the sense that she probably wanted the price to be as low as possible, you know, within reason. So I think that's cool too. I think Aura is probably my favorite. It just pops so beautifully, but I liked them all. I loved the way that Roxy Catan and Ivy layered on each other, which was nice because I was using kind of sparkly shimmery shades on top of each other, and they didn't fight each other for like the space in the corner. They really just did layer beautifully. So I'm super happy with this palette. It gets a thumbs up recommendation from me. I believe the first set of palettes has sold out, but they will be bringing it back, I think, one more time, if I'm correct. But I love this palette, so if you manage to get your hands on this, let me know what you think in the comments. Let's chat. But overall, this is getting a thumbs up from me. If you liked this video, you can maybe like it. If you want to subscribe, that would be super cool and would help me more than you know. So thank you for watching this. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for putting up with my still not perfect setup, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!